That
done.
is true. That is actually true. They BlossoM banned Blaze as a second ban. As I think that's also why Zero Two came in. Zero Two didn't really help at
Right.
all. If with a Void Prison, I think it could have helped a lot more.
If you
Trapping down at least ETC Tehaka.
if you ask me which 10 heroes were in that game, I would
Hmm.
be able to name 9 of them because I would forget that Zeratul was in there. And I get that he's invisible, you know. There's that joke over there, but more aptly, his
Well,
participation was just
Rapid,
not as.
if you have to explain the joke, it's never a good joke.
I just wanted to make sure, you know, I if it was just if chat was filled with 10,000 G clefs, then I wouldn't have had to explain that joke. But you
Hmm.
know, you got to work with what you got, right? So
I got it, so it's okay.
I
You
get it
didn't have
too.
to explain it, but now it's bad
I
because you
both explained
explained
the
it.
joke and then explained why I explained the joke. We're going like multiple layers. We're so incepted in this cast. We're gonna have to undream so many dreams. Which dream is this? This is maybe the dream where
The
Feliz
Twilight Dream.
wins.
We're going to Game 5. It is going to be Sky Temple picked by BlossoM. Of course, finally
Okay.
Feliz not picking map over first pick. They are going for that first pick as we have a trend for game number 1 through 4. Is it going to be the same for number 5? I think we have to go in and see the bans here. Sky Temple though, very snowbally map, also pretty good with ETC. I think BlossoM can basically keep a very similar one. Similar draft from game 4 and just end the series, of course. Lee still having a decent amount of win rate, possibly.
Well, that's the thing about Feliz as opposed to Ace is that Feliz is capable of getting in there and actually taking games off of top teams. I mean, you look at their series from last week. So the potential for victory is there. But what do you think goes into this map choice?
I think it's mostly because BlossoM, they have the lead. They just want to snowball this momentum here.
Okay.
As Hanzo is banned finally
All
for the
right.
first time
Okay.
for today. Whoa! Whoa!
I don't know what to do now. I can't predict who's going to win with 100% accuracy, G-Clef.
Well, we know the drill. When it's either you pick map or you pick Gray main. That's the rule.
Okay.
We have set that rule a few weeks ago.
Well, I mean, I feel like we've come up with quite a few rules or trends, as we're calling them. But with a Gray main ban truly now, this would prevent us from making any predictions, G-Clef.
Well,
I mean, how can you predict who's going to be chosen first if okay, well, oh, Genji's still up. Okay, all right.
yes.
Never mind. Okay, all right.
It might not be this time, as they're...
No, G. Yeah, nice.
It is game 5.
Okay.
Give me a break.
Finally, they've figured it out. It only took them 4 games, but I feel like we've worked out all the kinks, and now know exactly what to expect. There is that Genji pick. Okay, but okay. I mean, sometimes the first pick, you only get to pick one
But
hero.
this is now interesting because Feliz have kind of trapped themselves here, as their favorite Gray main is away, and when that's away, they usually bring something else. Okay, we see Tracer. I think we're heading towards that direction already. Frankel's Tracer, one of the better ones, along with Mafia. Maybe this is going to be the similar draft that we saw when they got a step off of Tempest. Is it going to be the same? BlossoM used that exact same drill against KSP Black. They know though. They know exactly what Feliz is trying to do. They have to have at least some kind of a twist here.
Well, they had a pretty good twist in game number 4. That Karazim at the end. That was a really nice flavor to add there. Round 2 bans Abathur on the field, and now off. That was a very short lifetime. We got to see Abathur on the screen there for maybe a second.
We never see Avatar on the screen.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Only the symbiotes and the mines. A nest.
I feel so sad for the team that had to play with me the first time I played Abathur. I was really happy to like try a new hero. It's like, I wonder what this guy does. I like walk out into the lane. Didn't go so well, G-Clef. And now here I am casting HGC Korea. See?
You were playing an AI game though, right?
I was playing on NA, so basically the
Okay,
same thing.
NA makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. All right,
Thinking
so
about Anubarak, of course, I think BlossoM already has a pretty good pair against Tracer in a way, because they have taunt, they have quick point stun from Uther, so they have that pressure against Tracer's blink. Even recall might not happen. maybe they're thinking that
Okay.
maybe
There
enough
is
CC
a
for themselves to get Tracer. I think they need maybe one more.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. It's one thing to say, well, all you have to do is bait out the recall, but sometimes that's easier said than done, G-Clef.
Of course, you need to press the right key towards the right direction, onto the right target, and at the right time. And that's what you need.
Oh, thanks, G-Clef. Now I know how to beat Tracers.
Yeah, now you can be pro.
All I needed to do is attend Heroes 101, Professor G-Clef.
You fail. I'll give you an F.
Hey, the class isn't over yet. We've still got one more series after this, G-Clef.
Well,
Maybe that's summer school. I get to come back.
Well, summer schools, you have to pay extra for that, so
Oh gosh.
I don't know when that's gonna happen, but they pick up the Haka. Seems like they actually want to focus on... Okay, this is a twist that I was talking about. They're picking up Tychus. Let's see if Aimer actually played Tychus. 3 times, 0, of course 0-3. When they picked up Tychus, they didn't have the best pair-up. Last time it was not Malfurion oftentimes, but this time they do. They have CC. They have some extra CCs, and that's exactly when Tychus just sits right there and press that D for the minigun. Perfect not perfect damage. Percent damage against Garrosh. Those work very well.
Well,
So this is the solution they have brought. Let's see. Let's go along with the draft and see how they finish this one, as they still have one more.
That's right. You know, there's no rule that says we can only have one twist. There may potentially be another here as BlossoM. We're going to finalize their picks here. Final 2. Let's see. What are they still looking for?
Oh, of course, the solo lane against the Haka.
Maybe
Sonya is
some
still
global
okay.
pressure.
Sonya's still okay. In this patch, of course, she went down a lot.
Ooh. There's the Jaina we were talking about, and the tried and true trusty ETC coming in again.
Could I maybe just solo lane Garrosh in that way? I'm not too sure which hero that Wiz is going to be on. That's
All of a
gonna
sudden
be
we
a
cannot
problem.
hear each other, so I'm going to assume that at some point my feet hit each other. Hopefully everyone else can still hear us. That's very helpful. And while we work on finishing this, Feliz will work on finishing their bands.
Well, let's see. Feliz still has one more. As we also have a technical difficulty from the
It's
draft.
not just us.
One person disconnected. I hope you guys still hear us. Just let us know. And we're also having a technical difficulty.
Yeah, we just chose this moment to have everything kind of happen at once.
Even before the game, so note 323 yet, but it was not a rage quit, guys. We're not even in game. Seems like
Doesn't count.
yeah, disconnection possibly.
Ah.
Oh, maybe he also stepped on something, as I think you stepped on something.
Oh, it's not just me. Haha! Pro players do it too, G-Clef.
Oh, let's see.
Okay. Well, as soon as that guy finishes fixing whatever BlossoM stepped on, he can come into our booth and fix what maybe I stepped on here too.
Yep.
There's no number to describe accurately the number of wires underneath my feet. I feel like if I had any place in the world to put a lot of wires, the last place I would put them is either around a pro gamer or under my feet. So the worst part is that everything looks exactly like I left it, with one notable exception.
I have no idea what happened, Rapid, but at least our mic is going through, so it's gonna be fine.
Well, hopefully both this and the problem in the studio are resolved very soon. You know, I can just tell you with complete certainty, G-Clef, that today has been a total roller coaster for me. I have been able to experience things I never thought I'd see. Things like Hanzo not being banned, Feliz winning games, and now us not being able to hear each other.
Yeah, that too. It is kind of weird, but at least we can still keep on going. But just in case something like this happened, I think I asked this question before.
Okay.
But here's the real question.
All right, hit me with it, G-Clef.
Do you agree? Well, not do you like? Do you agree with pineapples on pizza. Let's go back to this topic.
All I'm trying to say is that you know, there was a
Be
there was
safe
a package.
about your answer.
There was a package of emotes that Twitch released.
Yes, that's
just
exactly
today.
why I'm asking.
So, you know, if you guys watching have particular preferences to which kind of pizza you do like, you can certainly share that answer with G-Clef and I. I feel like Twitch and I are, you know, going to have to agree to disagree on this one, G-Clef. I am of the opinion that perhaps different pizzas are best pizzas. AKA
People
any
have
other
different opinions on this one, especially
Uh-huh.
around the world. Not just it doesn't matter which race, what kind of person you are, even if you're alien.
Yeah, what
even
rank
if you
you're
live
in
in
Hero League,
mines,
no.
it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
If you're
matter.
murky, you can have your own opinion.
Yeah. If you're one of those melee Abathur players out there like I am, you know, you still get to have an opinion about which kind of pizza is best.
I do like pineapples, but
Okay.
I like the Hawaiian a lot better.
Ah.
Just pineapples on pizza with nothing else.
Oh no, there has to be something else to pair it with.
Yeah,
I mean, you
I
come
like
to
the
Korea.
Hawaiian one with the ham.
Yeah.
Of course, we're having the same draft. We're just going through that entire thing. The last pick, last hero picked was Taikas, I believe, and we're just gonna repeat that.
No, but I'm glad that we could, you know, really help everyone decide exactly what their choices should be. You know, everybody wants to make the pizza dilemma about pineapple, and then when I first moved to Korea, I order pizza, and I'm like, all right, I order a pizza with these ingredients. I get a pizza with these ingredients, and potatoes, and corn.
Oh yes, I was waiting for that
Yeah,
corn.
and I'm like, okay, I clearly look at the list of ingredients, and I'm like, but those aren't on there. And they're like, no, we just put those on every pizza. I'm like, okay, well, welcome to Korea for me. So you guys think that the arch enemy of pizza is pineapple? No, there are further evils lurking in the shadows.
Well, let's just clip all that apart. Now we're back in draft.
All right,
we
here
do
we
have
go.
Jaina ETC. I forgot about that part. Sorry, guys. Jaina ETC and Morden for
Morden,
the finish.
okay.
OJ, I do trust in his Morden, of course. But ETC picked up again along with Garrosh. The problem is, which one is Wiz going to play? I believe Garrosh more likely, because also Gondor played ETC before. ETC can't really solo lane. It's going to be a lot tougher compared to Garrosh. I think that's where we're headed. But this is game number 5. Sky Temple. It'll be the last game, and the winner takes the series. As we have zoom into Feliz forever.
There's a lot of Feliz to zoom into. A very, very happy logo. Big smile on the logo. Perhaps after this game, a big smile on their faces as well. But of course, for BlossoM, no strangers to victories over lesser teams. They've made their mark on HGC both last season and this season by really hammering home, no, the middle of the pack is our territory. We beat all the teams below us. Can they do that again? Here, of course, we are on to our final match.
Here we go. We do have all 10 in-game, all ready to go.
No disconnections yet.
But we still do not have our audio in our ears, but still okay. I can hear you fine, Rapid.
What button could I possibly have pushed? I'm just looking down there. All right, back to the game. I'll keep looking. I'm just going to plug and unplug things here while G-Clef talks about Heroes of the Storm.
Oh, nice. 0% win rate for both of the teams. Looks pretty solid. But here, Feliz picked up the Haka once again. And when they did last time in Korstalo, they were out-rotating BlossoM. Let's say if they can do the same, the tempo of BlossoM will not be the same this time. So there's a pair up CC. Onto Gondor, actually Wiz on ETC. That's
Okay,
something new.
This is not the pairing that I would have chosen for these heroes. You know, we saw game number 2. We got both of our toss and throw.
So we do have ETC on top. This, I don't think we have ever seen this, but we're gonna have this because
Talk to me
Wiz,
about these lane choices here.
Wiz ETC, because you're supposed to go in between, try to gank around the lanes here. You're not supposed to solo lane in a way, but of course anything's possible. There's not a rule that you have to.
That's very
But
true.
it is always better to have ETC go around the top and the bottom. In this case, of course, they do have Garrosh, so they do have some CC. But not having that ETC will not have the same tempo as game number 4. That's what I was trying to highlight and say it. But after I saw Wiz on that ETC, that's not going to be the same for BlossoM.
Yeah, we were actually talking earlier, G-Clef. I was trying to ask you, okay, to get a better idea of how these pro teams pick their lane assignments, like what makes a good solo laner. And you're giving me all these characteristics, and then I see ETC up there. I'm like, well, he doesn't really have a whole lot of the characteristics of a traditional solo laner.
Oftentimes, melee damage will sustain,
Okay.
or a global trait, or a skill, or even a heroic. I guess ETC kind of fits with stage dive, but that's after 10. You do need that wave clear. You do not really have that at all until level 7. Unless you end up using all of your skills to clear waves all the time. And you will be losing against the Haka he is at the moment. As wave clear is a big mess for ETC.
Our observers are watching these Merc camps be taken, but clearly what is important is scrolling to top lane and watching ETC melee auto attack each individual creep in the lane.
Well, I think, okay, it was sort of a bait trying to set this up, but Power Split already used. Nice burrow from Hanaton trying to turn this around. There's a Franco, has to recall, takes way too much more damage compared to what he did with the pulse bomb there.
Sometimes I feel like Tracer players kind of think in the back of their mind, well, I can always just recall out of here. I'm like, yeah, but if you go in and deal 0 damage, it's like, well, is that really worth it? Not in that situation.
Yeah. Hanaton dragging the one with the aura, so not a misdrag at least, because that will actually take. That will be buffing all the ones around it. There's a toss onto OJ. Was that toss? I think was not cancelled. I think it could have been. Wiz had the right timing for the base melt to kind of cancel, looking for that cancel onto the dwarf toss. Did not happen yet, as OJ was waiting for that timing. That's gonna be kind of the mind war, psychological war between OJ and Wiz, looking for that dwarf toss timing.
Well,
All game 5
of the central temple does now go to Feliz. Work on chucking through that wall in the middle, but now the battle for top lane goes to Wiz. Can he hold up against the Haka there?
Well, he is doing it so far, but the sustain and the 4v4 goes for Feliz here, as ETC is also losing the top lane. Let's see how much. What is BlossoM trying to do? They should at least pressure into one. They're losing both at the time. Even Wiz may cost it. It's going to with the pulse bomb landing from Franco.
Beautiful.
Should have known that rotation coming from Tracer, of course. She does have the utility. Going to lose this last shots of the middle tempo, but I think that's all worth it, taking that ETC away, possibly looking for a kill onto Jaina, and that's another kill here.
Beautiful, man. Look at Aber. He's just totally left to his own devices to just deal out crazy damage over the entire course of these team fights. And BlossoM, you know, it might have felt a little bit maybe having second thoughts about that ETC top lane.
Yeah, that's what we have here. ETC top lane, not really of course, not the common one. A very rare choice from BlossoM. It's costing them big time. They do hit 7. And now it's going to be an okay wave clear. Here goes another pair up. The delay. But not much done. Feliz, they snowballed their lead, and they're getting closer to that level 10.
Closer. Just like we are getting closer, hopefully inevitably, to being able to hear each other. Sometimes you'll say something, I'll be like, well, I think you probably said this. Yeah, neither here nor there. This feels actually a lot more like game number 3 of our series, where Feliz had finally started to hit their stride. They're certainly hitting it this time around. So they rotate back up top. And I feel like maybe they are also kind of a little bit puzzled about this ETC top lane, because they're definitely not having any problems exploiting that at all. And really just Hanaton running around the map, mirroring ETC's movements, and has done a lot more this game. Certainly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure few will be questioning level 7. It is not Echo Pedal, it is Pinball. But I do take that sometimes personally also. For wave clear, it is a better choice, I would say, for ganks to do more damage after that power slide, but you end up using face melt lots of times before the power slide. That may come in handy, may not, but in this case, because he needed some extra wave clear, I think that's also why he took it. And he's also Wiz, so that Pinball Wizard does fit his name. Just trying to follow that logic.
No, I was listening to that. I'm like, you know, that there are probably people out there that understand that. So I'm just gonna let those people feel really good about themselves.
There's a drag to keep that damage away, and
it's
looking
not
for a
even
solo kill.
scared.
Franco joins the fight. There's the deflect and protection coming in. There's a power slide. Does have the face? Does not even need the basic attack. Was enough. Franco trying to get multiple kills at the same time. Not going to be done. And there's that recall. Let's see the duel here as Pulse Bomb's not there.
This is so sick. I'm clenched right now, G-Clev. Who's going to win? The answer is not.
There's no escape.
Not going to be.
And it is actually stage dive. Wiz locks in.
Okay. All right.
So that's a
Wiz
solo
knows.
laner for sure. Does have a global now. And does fit all the logic that I said before.
Yeah.
Thanks, Wiz.
I mean, he is certainly confirming a whole lot for us. And, really, that teams have plans and, designs for this. We'll see if Odin gets dropped. Oh, no, not quite. It was worth a shot. Not that shot.
Yeah, now having that global, Feliz really has to be careful, even with the Haka. May not be safe if ETC lands right in front of you and face melt, power slide, going to do that extra damage from the pinball. Of course, the other way, power slide first and then face melt. But with Jaina here, they have more than enough damage, and with this lead now taking the boss, the bottom fort is already gone. Gonna walk directly towards the keep wall here.
Oh man, G-Clef. With that Scarab Golem going over to BlossoM, you really have to kind of feel the sunken nature of Feliz's hearts. Their big smile on their logo, turning ever and ever downward. BlossoM, big advantage, and they turned that into a bigger macro lead as well.
Let's see, Taika's pick so far has not been really showing off. Of course, taking down the boss at the bottom lane, but meanwhile they're losing and they're looking for kills. ETC, does that part slide very soon? Is their face melt going to survive even without using the stage dive? Now the question is, can they escape unmounted from Genji? Here comes that power slide up, blinks away, but the taunt is there. But nice juke, trying to survive. Franco, good job, but did not end up having that kill anyhow. That's a dead Tracer at the end. Even Nathan seems like he's not going to escape here.
Yeah, nice burrow, but it was really kind of delaying just the inevitable. He will go down there as well. Two crucial deaths for Feliz.
Franco just trying to carry his team. He feels as a Tracer player, he feels like he needs to carry his team with a kill, a solo kill possibly, but that's actually turning the game around. I think he's going way too aggressive. He needs to look for a kill in the middle of the team fight, maybe onto, of course, Genji will be hard. So onto Jaina later on. So giving that pressure for Jaina, so she doesn't have that range to do massive damage. I think that should be the way, because Franco tried so hard to get that solo kill onto ETC multiple times. Actually, losing the game because of those two.
Very, very crucial. And now, yeah, things, like you said, very swinging in BlossoM's favor. They have control over quite a bit of the map right now. Controlling, I think, even two temples at the same time. Or no, actually, they're losing control of that middle one. So, I mean, at this point, especially on a map like Sky Temple, it feels like with the way that the temples work, it's very difficult to kind of stall out the game, because inevitably, temples will be controlled, the game will end. And so this is not going to be one where the team that gets behind, where Feliz is right now, has too many opportunities to come back in the long run. So,
and after all those assassination attempts, ETC, look at the positioning on the minimap, just trying to keep safe. Not even going out of that keep wall now. Going to be safe. Look for the perfect timing where you see lots of your opponent where they are, at least 4 of them, and then try to go along with your teammate, because you do have that stage dive working against Feliz, and they have been problematic with their macro play today. They were okay in game 2 because they had the global, but in this case, after the moment, how game 4 went, they were out-tempoed, out-macroed.
Yep.
BlossoM really taking this even stage dive here, as Morden caught, taunted, stunned, burst damage, then that's enough. Stage dive, there's a pair-up stun again from Ice Block, is not going to save you. No Twilight Dream for you, as Tranquility was locked in for 10.
He's gonna have a lot of time to sleep on that one. He can dream whatever he wants right now, because he will have to come back the hard way. 24 seconds left until he will be back, and really you start to see kind of the mastermind, the master plan of BlossoM. Wiz, he knew it, living up to his name, and he is coming in big with the somewhat solo lane ETC, really coming in as a big part of BlossoM's composition.
Yeah, I don't think even the Twilight Dream could have saved him anyhow, but still. Great attempt that, because lots of teams, so it's not really play against, it's mostly likely and always mosh pit. Stage dive is rarely used, so maybe you're not really cautious of your positioning. You may be cut off just like that, but didn't quite really get to see the timing onto the next boss coming up, but Temple phase is happening and BlossoM, they are having this control, and now it will do direct damage to the keeps.
It certainly will, G-Clef, and Feliz, they haven't even hit level 16 yet, so they will be missing out on quite a bit there. The only one way for Feliz to come back right now, you know what it is, G-Clef?
What is it?
They have to let Harrison Jones out.
Oh yes.
He's imprisoned up there underneath that, what is it, like an Eye of Anubis disc? If you spam click it, he crawls out.
Oh yes.
He escapes the Spider Queen's evil clutches.
And then he climbs up to this one, which is Sky Temple.
Yep.
I think that's correct.
Yes.
So you did your studies, or are you more?
No, I just looked up like the terrible memes, and I'm like, okay, well, this is clearly something that has no actual impact on the game and won't impress people with my game knowledge. But no, I'll know about the. I did read the trivia section. So.
Trivia section.
Yeah. It's like basically empty for every map except for Sky Temple. It's like, just in case you guys wanted to know.
Okay, just in case you have to go for...
I mean, if you're in Feliz's position, that's basically the only thing you can do.
Oh, here they're going on. They're going real in. Maybe they are trying to go for this boss. I think it's really tempting, but they go around. There's no risk to take.
Right, and really, if you're in BlossoM's position right now, all you have to do is just think to yourself, don't throw, don't throw, don't throw, don't throw. Well, maybe for everyone but Garrosh, he's pretty good at that. But for the rest of the team, not worth taking big risks, like going for bosses. Scarab going. Let's just see another day.
Once you hit that 20, you have maybe 60–70% more chance of winning everything objective team fights. So you just have to wait for that moment, soaking in some. Here comes Garrosh. Trying to party bush as Gondar steps away. Oh, that's not the right push. Uther almost face checks.
Be very quiet. Hunting wascally rabbits. That's where they would find us.
That was way too close. Even as a Feliz player, like you have to wait for the call, but before that, you cannot make a movement.
All right, they're still going for it. They're committed.
Going for the shot call. Where are they? Uther face checking actually does find that has the Divine Shield himself, but still. That's beautiful. I think that's a big cost, but still all right for BlossoM. That Divine Shield missing is a big tool. Feliz going in. BlossoM should realize this. They're going slowly. They're coming in slowly as the party bush was there last time. They're going around a little. Are they going? I think they're going right towards the core. They're for the keep. They can give up the.
They have mercs up top lane. They can actually go way through that. I don't know.
Give up the boss and go for the core and win the game and the series. I'll take that. They hit 20. BlossoM, they take the keep. They don't even need to take the cape. Go straight to the core. That's all you have to do.
Why are they wasting time with the keep? I mean, the core does damage, but not that much. Time, okay. Time kind of
with
wasted.
The keep, with the tempo shot, it will go directly to the core. They also have ETC for the stage dive. They have enough time to defend.
Okay.
That's what they're looking for here as... Boss is now onto the wall. This is only 15-minute boss, so not the strongest boss ever in Sky Temple. Here comes the team fight, and Nasang trying to harass Taika's from the back line. Tracer is already gone. Jaina did tons of damage. Jaina may not survive at the end, but OJ is actually the one to go.
Oh, and Dudu just popping the back line there.
Doing direct shots to the core anyhow, so Nathan's trying to delay, but this is going to be game over. I think we're about to see ETC stage dive right to the core and then try to finish. Of course, ETC will take a long time. But Genji's coming. Don't worry, guys. It's going to be GG.
He will be there, and yeah, there's just no one left up here to defend. I mean, Dahaka, Malfurion, maybe, but no, not at all.
Yep,
and this is going to do it.
And that was a questionable call from Feliz, going for that boss. They took... It was an okay decision, but when you're down 2 keeps, I think you desperate times calls for a desperate call here, as
Not the desperate call they needed, though. I mean, when you're behind as Felice, you know that you need to get it done. So sometimes it pays to take those high percentage plays, but they don't wind up pulling it out. They were so close to victory this week, G-Clef, but unfortunately, today is not their time. They've got one more week left in phase number 1, and at that point, you know, they'll have to kind of try things again next phase. But for now, BlossoM do continue their trend of beating the teams below them, and you know, still with one more week to go, have the potential to climb on up there to the upper half, but it's going to take a while. And for Felice, well, maybe their day will come a little bit later on.
well, after all, that solo lane ETC did work out.
It certainly did. Very impressively so.
Yes.
Looked a little bit weird through the first couple of waves, but later on, when it became less about wave clear and more about your participation in the game, stage dive, although maybe not the most common choice, paid off really well.
Yeah, they controlled the macro, and even their late game shot call was perfectly done. They wanted to go for the keep. That was the safest choice, I would say, for BlossoM. Go for the keep, just to make sure the tempo does direct shots, because they have ETC. Of course, there's the Haka, but without the Haka, it won't be as powerful of a push along with the boss with 4 men, because they will be pressured and they're less experienced. With those kind of pressures, sometimes you don't know what kind of shot call is the perfect one to do so at that kind of desperate moment. So Felice choked at the late game. I think that's where they have to learn. They just have to take the feedback, go back, maybe replay. What should we have done instead? And talk about that. Maybe next game they can improve on those shot calling. As BlossoM, I think their basic knowledge of the game experience really took over into game 4 and 5 and took the series away from Felice. And they were very close. And we had a full series we had lots of 3-0s in the beginning of HGC Korea, but now we're having lots of 3-1s and 3-2s here.
Yeah, anything really can happen. I feel like each week we get closer and closer, and I feel like if this is what it looks like for Feliz, a team that currently is winless in HGC Korea, if they can get this close, well, really our next series is, you know, anything can happen there as well, as we have a battle between the top of the standings and the bottom, as Team Ace takes on Tempest. So Tempest, or Ace rather, you know, they've got to be feeling pretty good for themselves if Felice can come this close to taking out BlossoM.
Yep, not there yet, but I think we are heading into... here's the result, of course, and that Hanzo 100% win rate still continues today.
Certainly does.
Yeah, was